Because I had it on loop, that's why. There's been some changes. So when I do the little, it's a 49-second clip of everybody's computers, iPads, phones, whatever you watch me on, all connecting up. Because that's the visual I have when I do this every week. You now get a little bar that goes across the bottom, so you know exactly when it's about to run out, which is good. And the same on the countdown. But now they've added a loop to your music, so it never runs out, which is interesting. So I've took that off. Anyway, welcome. Do you know, it has been a month since I was last here for CC&C. Let's do the hellos and welcome everyone. First one in was the lovely Luna Lit. Hi, how are you? And then closely followed by Magus. Nice to see you. And Jazzy Frazzle. Hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Nadine and our Chris. Hi, Chris. Sandra, the lovely Sandra, and the lovely Marilyn. And then we have Kathy. Hi, Kathy. And Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. How you doing? We have Emma and Louise and Dawn. Bonnie. Hello, Bonnie. And Luna. Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. And the lovely Lily Rose. How are you? Saskia. Jack. Hi, Jack. Nice to see you. We have, I don't know if I've said people. Tammy Pie, hello, how are you doing? Rolf, hello, Rolf. And Esco. Rachel, hi, Rachel. And it's 8 o'clock in the morning, just finishing my coffee. Well, it's almost 8 o'clock at night. Well, another hour away, and I'm still on the coffee. Good morning to you. It always feels weird that we're the whole time difference thing. Anna, hello, Anna. Lovely to see you. Sliding Doors, hello. Elder Moon, hello. Lisa, hello. I love C&C. Oh, it's lovely having you with us, Luna. Donna, hello. Forever Wear After. It's been a while. For you or for me? or for both of us. Bryant and Bramble, hello. Just lurking. Oh, normally just lurking. Well, I'm glad you've stepped out from the shadows and said hello. I've got a right mess. Look, I cut myself. I was rushing. I shave twice a week because I'm lazy. No, I have sensitive skin, so I can't shave too much. And I normally shave on Wednesday night. On Wednesday night, I went out for dinner with some friends for a birthday and forgot to shave. So when I woke up Thursday morning, I've got an early start, and I like to shave the night before so everything settles down because of my sensitive skin. I have to put lotion on afterwards, cake myself in lotion. So I was rushing and I caught myself. Oh, it bled for hours. So I've noticed it now that I'm looking into the camera. Have I missed anyone? Ferdiad, hello, nice to see you. I think everybody else is, I've said hello to. Oh, Ellen from Moomin, hello, nice to see you. Yeah, so forgive my appearance. And talking of appearance, if you think I'm wearing this, you won't see it yet. Okay, so tomorrow afternoon's episode 20 of the Hermit Shelf I've recorded this afternoon, so I'm wearing the same clothes. So when you watch it tomorrow, don't think, oh, you're wearing that last night. I'm trying to get ahead of myself and free up a bit of time for things. So this afternoon I was feeling really tired, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do the Hermit Shelf today, so I'm taking a bit of pressure off myself in the morning. Probably wasn't a wise thing. It's an hour and 10 minutes as well, tomorrow's Hermit shelf. Probably wasn't a wise thing because I was so tired. I was coming out with all sorts of words. I'm making words up, words that don't even exist. I just thought, we'll roll with it. We'll just go with it. Robin's here. Hello. What an hour my last stream was. It was a good chat. Yes, so far so good. I'm not sure. You look good, Simon. That colour suits you. Thank you. That's a nice thing to say. I can't believe I've had to put a jumper back on. What? This week has been so cold, so wet, so dark, so windy. I thought, well, was that summer then? Is that summer done now? Are we back into autumn? And on has come the jumpers. Hello, Will. Nice to see you again. I don't mean again as in here, because I just obviously saw you on Robin, so nice to see you again, I meant. Letha, summer solstice next Sunday. Yeah, I can't wait for summer. I've got 6 more weeks and then I break up and I'm going to Glastonbury. Sandra and I, can I tell them, Sandra? Can I tell them our news from this week? Great colour and your skin. Oh, it jumped so fast. What was that? I've lost it now. Yes, great colour and your skin looks smooth as a baby's behind. Do you know, when I was a teenager, everybody used to say, haven't you got amazing skin? And you know how kind of critical we are and self-deprecating we are and all that sort of stuff. I always hated my skin because it's really thin. And yeah, I didn't like it. And people would comment about my skin. But now I've grown to love my skin because, you know, a few years off 60, not a wrinkle. No work done. I'm joking. But yeah, I do cut easy and I bruise easily. I wake up sometimes and I look down and I'm like, what? And there might be the biggest bruise that I've done in the night, but it's just one of those things. Jumping into jumpers. Why is this chat scrolling so fast? I'm going to have to grab my iPad because I can see more of the comments on this. It's been almost 100 here for a few days. I heard Will talking and saying that it's like 102. I think the only time we got to 102, we got to 103 once. That was the hottest day ever recorded in the UK. That was about 3 or 4 years ago. I still remember it. I felt like I was being suffocated. Yes, you can say, Simon. Yeah, so I can never say too much about stuff work related or anything like that. I keep my professional life, I've always kept it very separate. But it's been tough, really tough. And I feel really, not just because of work, just life in general at the minute is really hectic. And I think, too much pressure on myself to do things. And this week in particular has just been pretty full on. And I was talking to Sandra and we're saying, oh, how long do we go to Glastonbury? And then I was like, I really wish we'd gone for a little bit longer than 3 nights. 3 nights is what we always used to do. Last year we went for a week. And that was probably a little bit too long, I think. Although I didn't mind it, and we went out to different day trips. And then Sandra was like, shall we try and get an extra night? And I was like, I don't think we will at this point, a month before, for July, summer holidays and all that. Anyway, we did in the Georgian Pilgrim. So we've got 3 nights in a new apartment because the cottage that you've seen for the last 4 years that we've been there isn't a holiday let anymore. It's been let permanently. So, remind me, Wall of Heat in Texas. So they emailed us earlier in the year and said, sorry, we just thought we'd let everybody know that's a regular. So we couldn't go there. So we've got a little apartment that looks really nice from the photographs, just off the high street, which will be good for Sandra, because I think it was getting a bit much for Sandra, the where the cottage was. And then on the high street for the fourth night in the Georgian Pilgrim. So we're really looking forward to that. I'm just really looking forward to a break, and I always feel recharged when I've been to Glastonbury. It's my spiritual home. So I'm going to go and plug in and get to be recharged. Wall of Heat in Texas. I can always remember the first time I ever went to the US, which would be 1998. 1998 was the first time I ever went. First time I ever flown was 1997 to Norway. And we flew from Gatwick to Newark, from Newark to Houston, Texas to Salt Lake City. It was a killer. We never did that route again. But when we was on the flight to Houston from Newark, the cabin crew said to us, it's 110 in Houston at the moment. And the moment I stepped off the plane was that wall of heat. I was like, oh, how does anybody live like this? I've never felt a temperature like it. And it was like, the only thing I can describe it is, every 2 weeks I go to the barber's for a pamper, and one of the things I have is a hot towel over my face to help with my skin. And it was like that. It was like, oh my gosh, this is horrific. I don't know how anybody over there copes with that. Already looking forward to the vlog and lives from Glastonbury. They'll happen. It's bound to happen. We'll probably do one from the apartment, because I think they've got Wi-Fi, I think it said. I don't know if the Georgian Pilgrims will. Surely there must be some trips to Alton Towers coming up. Oh, for schools, yeah. We've got our end of year shows and graduation and all that to look forward to. Yeah, so really, really looking forward to that. I'm just having a look, because I think I'm missing, 4 nights aside from travel is a good length. That's what I arranged. Yeah, and I think because of how long it can take to get down there, last year going down on a Sunday was perfect, because it was really early. The roads were clear. I was down there for about 3 hours, I think it was. Maybe just a little bit over that. And I arrived before 9 a.m, just as the cafes were opening. I had some breakfast. I waited for Sandra to arrive. And it just felt like I got a full day there. And boy, do you sleep on that first night there. But coming back can be really bad. Really bad. Really long, I should say. Anyway, what are some of the things I want to talk about? Firstly, I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off with YouTube. So, I've been on YouTube. This is my 10th year. So 9 years last March was my anniversary. So I'm in my 10th year. And I have never monetized, and I never will monetize. What I do because I enjoy it. I don't want to be a slave to algorithms, or you will have never heard me say in 9 years, please like and subscribe, give me a share or anything like that, because that's not because I'm disinterested. it's because I don't need to say that, because I don't need to generate an income from YouTube. I'm not somebody who, you know, it might have been different if I only work part-time, or I was trying to make a career out of tarot, which, you know, I've had my own website, I've done readings professionally. But YouTube for me has always been about engagement with the community. I've made some amazing friends on YouTube. We've just been talking about me and Sandra going away. You know, we met through YouTube, Kelly Bear, everybody, dozens of people that I class as friends through YouTube and my channel. And having the connections is what it's about. In the last 2 weeks, I've been getting messages from people saying, Simon, why have you decided to monetize? Or Simon, I can't believe you started putting ad revenue. And I haven't, and I never will. I've always said that. So for some reason now, people are seeing adverts at the start of my videos. And somebody left a comment the other day saying, I've just tried to watch this video and every 5 minutes there's an advert coming on. And that really, really annoys me, because I don't monetize. And if I monetized, you select where you want your adverts, and you get more revenue for the more adverts you put in. So if you just have them at like the beginning, it's a certain amount. But if you start breaking up your stream or your live or your recorded video at certain parts, then you get more revenue. I even pay YouTube Premium so as I don't see any adverts, because I find it really frustrating. You know, you halfway through watching something and an advert comes up. I find it really frustrating. So I pay $15.99 a month, and I cancelled my subscription to Spotify, because what I figured was YouTube has music, YouTube Music, a separate app, and you can play any song ever, just like you can on Amazon Music or Spotify or anything like that. So I cancelled my subscription, and now I have it all through YouTube. But it also means that I can have perks like streams running in the background while I'm looking through Google for something. So somebody mentions something on a video, I can come out of that, but it still plays. I can still hear it while I'm looking on Google. It doesn't shut it down. Or I don't get adverts. So I was like, what on earth? Why? And I've researched it. And now YouTube is saying that they can put adverts on any single video they like, whether you monetize or not. And that really annoys me, because I don't want you lot to have to sit through adverts. I don't want you to have to, you know, be enjoying this stream and all of a sudden blooming Coca-Cola comes on, or Andrex toilet paper or whatever, and then you're back to me and you've missed 30 seconds of what I've been talking about. So it just infuriates me. You know, something is so good for so long, and then they do something like this, and you're like, is it worth doing it? You know, because yeah. So I just wanted to make that clear. But also what I wanted to say is, just because I don't monetize, that isn't me having a go at anybody else that does. Because I covered this subject once before, a couple of years ago, talking about why I don't monetize, and somebody got quite offended by it and left a comment saying, well, you're in a very lucky position that you do. And I know that, I do know that. And it's not me having a go at anybody. You know, we've all got to make a living. We've all got to earn. And I'm fortunate that I've got a good job and I earn a decent wage and, you know, I don't have to monetize. But it's never been something that I've ever wanted to do. It's just not. I want my content to be free. I want, you know, you guys have supported me for nearly 10 years, gotten me to the subscriber count that I've got. The last thing I want to do is make you pay for it. And, you know, I don't pay for anybody's, so I won't expect anybody to pay for mine. So that's that rant. Let's have a look at some comments because I'm conscious I can see it moving and I've not looked at the comments for quite some time. So let's go back. Goddess and Green Man has reopened. I know, I'm really excited to see what they've done. Simon's layers are making me hot. Yeah, it is actually, the sun's just coming out for like the first time today. I saw the comment about Alton Towers. I think that's where we got up to. I can't speak. You've genuinely created the loveliest community. And thank you, Ferdiad. For us, YouTube includes ads no matter whether a channel is monetized or not. But it's only... Emma, can I ask you then, as somebody who I know has been following my channel for a long time and have been in these lives for a long time, have you always seen adverts on my channel? Because it's only been the last 2 weeks that I'm getting comments from people saying, why are we getting adverts? I'm so annoyed by ads. Yeah, I get annoyed by them. In fact, I don't even watch live TV anymore, you know. I set my box to record everything that I want to see. And then when I come to watch it, I fast forward the ads. My sister loves adverts. She likes them as much as TV programs. And she'll say, you must have seen that advert where that... And I'm like, I haven't. I don't watch ads. They just bug me. I think it's happening all over, Simon, even my videos. Oh, wow. Do you know, this is where things get spoiled because people will leave YouTube. It doesn't take long for another platform to click on to what's happening and think, right, well, let's us create this and not enforce ads. People get greedy, don't they? Big tech companies get greedy. Jack says, I had that on your vid the other day and Googled it, and it's worse watching through TV, apparently. They've ramped them up. So they even know the device you're watching on. Ads are more aggressive now. They leave a link on screen after every ad. Ferdiad says, you know what, Simon, if they're going to force ads on us, I'd prefer you monetized and at least got your $15.99 back. Well, I appreciate you saying that, but I won't monetize. You know, it's something I've always said, I will never monetize. Yeah, it's just not something that I'm comfortable doing or want to do or need to do. Sliding Door said, that's awful, Simon. I've noticed ads but didn't realise that being monetized. They are doing it to get people to pay premium. Yeah, that's a point I was going to make, actually, Trio, so I'm glad you mentioned it. I knew there was something else I was going to say. I really do think that what Trio's just said there is absolutely right. They want people to get annoyed, and then they'll say, go ad free. Do you remember Netflix before they had ads? Then all of a sudden, well, when I first got Netflix, it was $5.99. It's now about $15.99, $17.99, something like that. But then they did a premium version without ads and started having ads for the lower version at $7.99. I'm like, It's great for some people that perhaps can't afford the higher version, but what you're adding in, your ad version, is what we were paying before that without ads. So that's what they're trying to do, get people to pay for premium, $15.99. All I would say is, like me, if you do have a service like Amazon Music or Spotify, then for me it was worth cancelling that and transferring the money to YouTube, because then I've got music, like I said, uninterrupted streaming, and no ads. I have it too. It's great for when I'm pottering about or walking the dogs. I can stick my earphones in and listen to someone's video as I go. Yeah. Anna says, that's sweet of you, Simon. It sounds like you can't help this. So if need me, just monetize. Yeah. No, honestly, I wasn't saying any of this as well to justify me suddenly announcing that I'm monetizing, because I'm not. That's not something I'm going to do. They're not paying you for ads, Simon. I will skip everyone. The thing is, though, Vicky, you have to watch so much of it before it allows you to skip. So there's ways around it. They've got their way to make you do it. I get really chilled watching your videos, Simon. The ads make me jump. Yeah. Is it region specific? Are US viewers getting more ads? I really don't know. No, Sandra's contacted me to say, have you started monetizing? Because you've got ads on your, and I've never known them before. I watch some channels with sponsors that, yes, one thing that could change as a result of this, because this is what annoys me as well. And this isn't on YouTube. Sorry, no, it is on YouTube. It's not on TarotTube. But if I'll watch some of the stuff that I find interesting. So, you know, food critics or people that go and stay in hotels. I watch someone called Hannah Ricketts, and one or two others. And then, because they've got a big following and because they monetize, they'll be showing you around the hotel room and say, look, a lovely king size bed. And here we've got a built-in refrigerator. Are you going on holiday this year? Have you thought about your holiday insurance? And then they go into this advert. And I'm like, that's sneaky, because I'm paying YouTube $15.99 not to get adverts. And you've just created your own advert right in the middle of your content. So maybe if YouTube is taking the decision out of their hands and sticking them in, because this still attacks people that are paying for no ads. So content creators are even getting around it, and they're being, because I get emails every day. If I was to go into my email box now, there'd be an email in there from somebody saying, can we collaborate? And what they want is something from you that, we just want you during your next video to talk about, and I just delete them because I don't monetize, so I don't need that. But the full of them, you get loads of people contacting you saying that they want to collaborate with you. Hi there. I'm Sarah, blah, blah, no, I won't say her full name, from Anima Mundi. We work with simple plant-based formulas, often used by people as part of their daily routine. They're made to be broadly approachable. I wanted to ask you something. Whether you'd be open to exploring a simple integration that fits your usual format. One option is taking a look at a small selection of products, but that's optional. A direct integration without testing works as well, if that feels easier. Could you let me know what you typically charge for shorts integration? That was sent yesterday, every day. So what they want you to do, they'll send you the products, and then I will just now cut away and say, you can buy this crystal stone for just $4.99. Gosh, I can feel myself getting worked up. Have a sup of coffee, Simon, and chill the F down. And can you hear all those sirens? Don't know what's happening. Yeah, you can't skip them. You're right, Sandra. Yeah, this video is sponsored by is another one, Chris. And I don't mind that so much, you know, just at the beginning they say, oh, just to let you know, this video is sponsored by, you think, right, okay, thank you, get on with it. It's when they just cut away in the middle of you being engrossed when you've paid not to have adverts. The bottom line is that we're all being manipulated. I'll take that, Crystal. Anyway, that's that thing over with. I just wanted to get that out of the way. All I can say is I'm really sorry that if you, you know, you support my channel and you're seeing adverts now, please know it's nothing I've done. It's nothing I would ever do. And yeah, I don't know what the solution is. I've Googled it and they can do it, and there's nothing I can do to turn something off or ask them not to. It's just what it is. Often YouTube creators can make more money from a sponsor than they can from adverts. Yeah. And you know, when I'm watching people like Hannah, and every week she's in a 5-star hotel and she'll say, this costs $1,500 a night. I'm thinking, how on earth, 4 times a month, do that? But it's because it's sponsored. So I'd imagine she'll say, well, I'll sponsor your product if you pay for me to have a night in the Dorchester. I'm only surmising that's what happens. Or, you know, she makes enough revenue to be able to put that back into going to stay in places. The YouTube police coming to get Simon for slacking them off. Anyway, what else am I going to tell you? Right, so I haven't been around for a month because last week I went to a dinner party, which was lovely. I really enjoyed that. The week before was when I got lost on Ilkley Moor. That was fun. The week before that was Spotlight. So yeah, it's 4 weeks. And I was thinking of some of the things that have been happening and all the places I've been to that perhaps I haven't mentioned. But one of the things that I was going to share with you, oh, I've done that and I've made a mark now on my glasses. Oh, that's going to annoy me. Just bear with me one second. I'm back. I don't know why, but my eye were leaking and it went on my glasses. I got this huge smudge, and because of the ring light, I couldn't see anything. So I was like, I've got to go and get that sorted. Yeah, so one of the, a couple of weeks ago, and I've got to be careful because this person could see this. Not the person who said it, but the person that I was with could see it. But we were out this particular time, and they brought a friend with them that I didn't know. And my other friend said, oh, by the way, Simon reads tarot. And this person's reaction, I've even wrote it down because I wanted to wanted to capture it and get it right. This person said, oh, unless you know what you're doing, you shouldn't mess with them. I'd leave it to the professionals. So I sat there I stood there for a second or two, letting that kind of percolate. And I didn't want to say to them, well, I have actually been a professional tarot reader. I did have a small business reading tarot, but I just said, oh, okay, well, what do you mean about shouldn't mess with them? And, you know, I kind of explored it a little bit further. And they said, well, you've got to have a gift to read tarot, haven't you? Otherwise, you're using tarot as a replacement for real and practical decision making. So firstly, this gift obviously was talking about you've got to be psychic. You've got to be a psychic or a medium to be able to read tarot, because otherwise you're using tarot as a replacement for real and practical decision making. So almost like we can't make decisions for ourselves without consulting the tarot. And do you know, and this is why I wrote it down, because when I got home, I was like, I need to capture what was said, because, you know, I need to, you know, when you're in the moment and then you're kind of taken aback by something. And because I didn't know this person and I was conscious that there was a friend of a friend, I kind of let it go. And then I came home and I started really sort of unpicking that. And I was like, why didn't I say this? And why didn't I say that? And then it got me thinking about, and I think tonight's episode of CCC is Simon's pissed off, clearly, because I'm talking about things that have pissed me off. I started thinking about, you know, tarot myths. So we've talked about tarot myths before, as in things like, oh, you have to be gifted your first tarot deck, or they have to be wrapped in silk, and that sort of nonsense, you know. But it got me thinking about us as a tarot community. How open are we with other people about being a tarot reader? And when we are open with other people about being a tarot reader, and we're met with something like that, because normally I would use that as an opportunity to educate, but it was the wording that was used that just knocked my duck off. You know, if they just said, oh, haven't you got to be psychic to use tarot? I'd say, no, not at all, you know, and then I would talk to them about it. It was the fact they said, oh, you shouldn't mess with that, initially irked me, because my background in the Mormon church and their stance on divination and cards, it was very, oh, you shouldn't mess with that, implying that it was of the devil. Don't mess with that. I hear that now about talking boards, also known as Ouija boards. Oh, don't mess with that, you know. And then to say, leave it to the professionals. So an assumption is made that you're not a professional reader. And then when exploring that further, I'm not a professional reader because I don't say that I'm psychic or a medium. I've been told, so you're into witchcraft and devil worshipping when I tell people I read tarot. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's seen by some, and I'm not going to say, you know, it's seen by just people in church, because just that was my experience. It's seen by people who watch the media. You know, that film that came out a couple of years ago, Tarot, I actually quite liked it. I thought it was a good film. But again, it was linked to, you know, the dark arts and all that sort of thing. Simon, didn't the other person know her friend's views on tarot? Might be difficult. No, because actually, this person, I don't really know their views on tarot, even though we're friends and they know I'm a tarot reader, and I think they find it quite interesting, but I don't know their views on it in any great detail. We did once play around with some cards on a train, and had a little bit of... it was a proper reading, but it wasn't anything too heavy. But yeah, I have a friend who, when she sees my tarot decks, always comments that there was a convicted female serial killer here who also read tarot. By the way, she was exonerated later. Gosh. Sounds like fear-mongering to me. The world is so fear-based, which totally opposite of what it should be. So if I'm not paid, then my readings are nonsense. Yeah, it was... The way I took it and the way I processed it afterwards was akin to like the Ouija board. Whereas, oh, you shouldn't mess with these things. Leave it to the professionals. Like, what? And then, like I said, when I said, well, what do you mean by professionals? You know, those, what word do they... You need a gift to read them. Otherwise, you're using tarot as a replacement for real and practical decision making. So you're either psychic or a medium, and therefore, in this person's worldview, you can read the tarot. If you're not, you don't know how to read them properly, so you're just not making decisions for yourself. You're relying on the tarot. And I thought, I wonder what experience that person has had to have that view. And I really wish. And it was one of those moments that after I said that, I think my friend thought, oh, this is a bit awkward. And the conversation moved on. So I couldn't go back to it. But I kind of wish I had. But anyway, playing with cards on a train sounds like a podcast. What Ferdy had said. The female serial killer was probably just pissed off at people for insulting her tarot. Soon enough, the bodies started piling up. They gave you their view, but didn't ask for yours. So they lost an opportunity. Yeah. But we've all been there, haven't we, MA, when you just think, oh, why didn't I say that? But there might be another opportunity coming up where I'm in that situation again. We just started as a board game. Yeah, it was Waddington's. Who also, the blue box, Blushing Fool, is Waddington's. And so was the Ouija board. And it was in toy shops. It was a game. Yeah, they thought it was spooky after seeing The Exorcist come out. How do you even become professional if you do not begin somewhere? Yeah. The mind boggled Simon. So, a question then. Any myths that you've come across that have pissed you off? Or I'm also conscious that there's probably people watching this. So what we've got, 127 people here. There might be people in here watching this who are really new to tarot. They've heard some myths and don't know, what they think about it and might want to ask, I've heard this, any truth? And we could unpick them and discuss them. Oh, don't worry, I'll never give you a reading. Yeah, I'd love to give that person a reading. So yeah, I wrote down some that I've heard. I'm not going to do the usual ones, like I said, wrap them in silk or, but tarot is only accurate if you're a psychic. That's kind of what they were getting at. Do you know one of the things I hear a lot is about bond. A deck won't bond with you. I can't use that deck. It won't bond with me. I think we might not bond with a particular deck, and not to give a spoiler away, but actually I kind of touched on this afternoon when I did the Hermit shelf one tomorrow, because the deck that I'm showing tomorrow I couldn't connect with at all, but I never saw it as the deck doesn't like me or the deck won't bond with me, because it's a tool, and like any tool, we are the ones who have to learn how to use a tool. And I do believe that, you know, there's some decks that we might just not get along with. But when I hear people say, oh, it wouldn't work for me, it won't bond with me, I just think, is that a myth? And these are questions. These are not me saying that's a myth. The whole point of this now is like unpicking some of the things that we hear. And this particular deck that you'll see tomorrow, I couldn't get on with the artwork. And for me, mainly it's about the artwork, because you could have 78 cards and just write Fool on one, Magician on the other, and I can read them. So for me, it's usually the art style. For the longest time, as you all know, I couldn't connect with the Thoth deck. I actually quite love it now. I think it's beautiful. And this other deck that I'm showing tomorrow. Can you hear that? I just don't know what's happening. Let's see if there's any... to be quite honest, could you elaborate on a Ouija board, Simon? I let myself get scared off by them and don't know the whole story. I'd have to go under the table. I've got a spirit board. It's not something I use on my own. I don't see it as any more of the devil. I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in a physical devil. I fear, or hell. I think we can find ourselves in a hellish life state. I believe that we can feel like the devil card, entrapped, enslaved by our own desires and everything else. But I don't believe in a devil. So therefore, an Ouija board is another tool. It's a communication tool. Some people use tarot to communicate with loved ones and ancestors. I just don't know what is going on. There's people with car horns just turning it into Beethoven's Fifth. Anyway, try and concentrate. Oh, this is ridiculous. It takes real intelligence and knowledge to read tarot, and it takes lots of stupidity and knowledge of human development and behaviour. I often feel the creator's energy in a deck, and sometimes I just don't resonate with it. That's interesting. There's a deck out at the moment that's been released by a huge publisher of tarot decks, and I had the indie version of it, and it arrived, and I was going to say, I don't think I ever broke the seal, but I think I did it on a live like this. People saying, well, go on. But I'd had it for about 2 years because somebody mentioned, have you checked out this creator? And the creator had a cult, known as a cult, and had some very interesting background. And I couldn't use that deck. I just couldn't use it. And now I've just seen it's been picked up for mass market release, and I'm like, wow. Did they do their homework? So I get that as well. However, so, you know, Arthur Edward Waite, misogynist. Aleister Crowley, we know the character of Aleister Crowley. I don't necessarily think that me buying a RWS deck now has got his energy on it. It's been produced and reproduced and reproduced for over 100 years. Same with the Thoth. However, I do feel that if somebody has used a deck for a long period of time, their energy can be imbued with that deck. But I do think that we can, you know, do certain rituals to cleanse decks. And the more we work with it, the more our energy is going into it as well. I either resonate with a deck or I don't. Yeah. Marching band, football victory. Has football started? Sometimes I absolutely love the art on a deck, but I just can't read with it. It's so annoying. So, Kerry, if you don't mind, tell me if you would, when you say you love the art on a deck, but you can't read with it, what is it that you struggle to read? And I hope you don't mind me singling out. I'm just really interested to hear your perspective on that. Because if I love the artwork and I know the structure of the tarot, I can read a deck. Where I struggle to read a deck is if I can't connect with it because it's too abstract or I don't like the artwork. There's certain art styles. I'm not a huge collage lover. I do have a couple of collage decks because I think sometimes if they're done well, I can appreciate it. Or I don't like too much of the computer generated art, pure computer generated art, like the Fountain Tarot or the Rebecca Campbell type art decks. I just, yeah. Demons heard themselves mentioned. I have a spirit board. Yes, beauty isn't always enough. If somebody's shouting in the hallway, don't say that. Is someone shouting in the hallway? Please don't say that. Wow. What in the world is that? It's car horns. It's stopped now. The music is interesting. A fanfare. Lily Rose says, Simon, I've had a deck that just wouldn't shuffle smoothly for me. Yeah, that can be an issue. But I persisted until one day I physically felt the release of whatever that was exit from my deck. And it's been fine ever since. Oh, so it wasn't like a particular card stock like the Rose Petal where some people say, I can't shuffle them properly. You just felt that it wasn't working with you. That's interesting. Parade. Badly tuned parade. Yeah. You think they'd have had more practice before they came into the city and started doing that. There's been several decks that are well loved that I just can't. Again, and I'd love you to say why. Or do you just not know why? It's just one of those things. Oh my God. Saturday night street party. We're getting a fanfare. Today is clearly just a ridiculous day. You're doing great despite all the interruptions. King's birthday, yes, but there is that. But I don't think the people of Nottingham are that bothered. They could be, but we did have the fly past today. And the trooping of the colour, World Cup football. As it started then, I thought it was on really late at night. Like, we've got to stay up till like 1 in the morning to watch it or something. Do you ever feel awkward using a backup deck, like breaking in a new pair of shoes? Your energy isn't with it the same as the earlier one. I tend not to use backup decks unless I really need to. The only time I've had to use a backup deck perhaps is if I've modified the first one. So I'm thinking of like the Greenwood, no, the Wildwood, where I modified it and then I thought, I'm not sure actually, let's go back to the original. Similarly with Everyday Enchantment, although I do prefer the modified one. I'm trying to think if there's any others that maybe if I can't find one and I've just grabbed the backup deck, but no, not really. They've all, well, apart from new ones, they've all kind of been in my home, soaking up the energy of this home, in my space. So yeah, no, I don't. It's the short answer, I think. Scotland game is 2 a.m. tonight. Okay. Have you ever had a negative encounter with a spirit? I had a few. Our childhood home had... Yeah, all of my experiences were as a child. Well, up until my teenage years. Not necessarily negative. We had a mischievous one when I lived with Jen, my friend Jen. I filmed with Jen before. That would do stuff for attention, but not negative, no. I don't like vector art. Yeah, I'm not keen on vector art. They're very popular again at the minute, but I don't like it. I mean, I do love my historical decks, and I do love, it's back. I do love decks that are classical looking and beautifully painted. I love that. That's what I'm drawn to. Yeah, more than these modern computer generated or vector art. There are decks created for art's sake, little or no tarot energy, versus decks created as tarot decks first, then using appropriate art. I'm going to shut the window because this is just going to go on and on and on. That's sorted that out, hasn't it? Hello, Mimi. Let's see. Dame Darcy Mermaid, 2nd edition. Oh, really? Can't feel the same about it as the first. The 2nd edition was one in the green box, wasn't it? With the matte gold edges and the rose petal finish. Kerry says, for example, I love the artwork of the Tower of Echoes. It's absolutely stunning, but I can't get anything intuitive from it like I do with more simple decks, like the Llewellyn Classic, for example. Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. I find it really interesting. And yeah, there are those decks that we get and we think, don't we, that we're going to absolutely love it. I visualize it. You know, if I see a deck, and so the latest one for me that I've purchased is this one that I showed this week. Absolutely gorgeous. And you know, when I saw it, when Aldona showed it on Elements of Tarot, I was like, yeah, this deck is amazing. I've gotta get this deck. And I could see myself using it and working with it. And you just see yourself reading it, don't you? Now, this deck I haven't had long enough to say whether it will fall into this category or not. But sometimes you then get the deck and your first impression might be, oh wow, that's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. And then it's like the magic isn't there that you thought would be there. The thought of you having the deck and working with the deck just doesn't transpire. It's that, what's that phrase they use? Cognitive dissonance. Something that you thought was going to be doesn't turn out to be as you envisaged. Yeah, Sandra can't connect with pip decks. Here's me just showing a pip deck. Tammy Pie says Gaian. I love the Gaian. I really like a lot of the art, but some of the people just send me back to some people I knew as a kid, and I really don't like that. Now, I understand that. If you see certain people in a deck, then yeah, that can be jarring. I just Googled it. Apparently there's a live music arts weekend in Nottingham. Well, if that's the quality of it, I can still hear it with the windows shut. Shouldn't be allowed. I'm becoming ever such a grump, you know. I'm like, shouldn't be allowed. Arrest them. Breach of the peace. Public order, section 4. Mother Peace just completely creeps me out. I hated the writing in the guidebook. Wow, Tower of the She, I just don't get it. Tammy Pie's on a roll now with all the decks that she doesn't like. Come on, Scotland, says Chris. Fountain Tarot is cold. I agree with that. Okay, I'm just looking for any other comments because I'm quite a bit behind. So I'm scrolling till I see either a tag or a capital. Simon, that deck you just showed, can you hold up a blue plaid card against it for size? Yeah, I did. Did I? Oh no, yeah, you complained, didn't you, Robin, that I'd used a different card? I couldn't remember it was. I mentioned it in last night's video. I said somebody complained that I'd used a different card to show us a card size comparison. It was you. So this is the Tarot Original, and that's the size against a standard tarot. And it is quite a thick cardstock. It's nice silky matte, but they are large. Hence this bag that I got in 2018 when I first went to the hen shop. I just wish that this ribbon was on both sides, because it never seals it properly. I can pull it tight like that. The cards are down here, but it still kind of opens up. So then I try and wrap it round. So I wish it was a drawstring on both sides, because this is the largest bag I've got and it's the only one that will fit that deck. Apart from the one that they sent, because they did send one, to be fair. But I like a nice bag. I know, bag snob now is tarot snob. People saying bye to Cheryl. Cheryl must have said she's got to go. See you later, Cheryl. See you next Saturday for Spotlight. Hello. Oh, channel shout out time. Anne and Cara Adventures are localish. They're from Sheffield, which is about an hour's drive from here. And they wanted to say up. They do the most amazing videos of they are druids. They're doing the kind of like the Druid Wheel of the Year, the almanac, and they just got back from Glastonbury. They did a brilliant like in two halves 45-minute video of Glastonbury. We gave them a shout out, Sandra and I, from Wells Cathedral last year, and It's the first time I've seen them popping in, but nice to see you both, and do check them out. They've got brilliant footage. They have what do they call them? My brain's gone blank again. I want to say crones, but they're not crones. Drones. Crones. Lots of crones flying around. They've got drone footage, and it's just really good quality vlogs that they do. I understand why people love it. My life experience is just a little bit different. Yeah, and we're all got different life experiences. So, Nottingham's biggest kazoo band. That's just what it sounds like, that awful droning sound of a kazoo. Hermits are allowed to want peace. Yes, exactly. Love the kazoo band. Wow, that's Big Simon. That's Big Simon. The deck. Yes. Yes, they are. They are. I'll send you a big bag, Simon. Do you make bags, sliding doors? Let me know if you do. Bag snob. Rolf says, I prefer small cards. I get that, Rolf. Bag snob, tarot snob, coffee snob. All right, Sandra. That's because she has mead wine for breakfast while I'm having me coffee. Yeah, spotlight. Oh, Chris is at it as well. Bag snog. Bag snog. Tarot snob. Coffee snob. Beginning to think you might just be a snob. Oh, that's lovely, Anna. Thank you. Give them a hello from me, because I think they've gone, because they were just popping in. But if you do subscribe to Anna and Cara, then do give them a hello from me. Kazoo snob. Anyway, it's Cuppa Catcher and Cards. Does anybody want to see a deck that I've not opened yet? Sliding Doors Tarot, you're going to have to change your name. Why? Why? Do tell. Yes, please. Right. So, I've got one unopened that's an old deck, but it's going to be new to me. And then I've had 2 second-hand decks arrived. I won't show these, but our Sandra sent me, she was getting rid of a load of decks and just said, there's probably not any you want in here, but let me know before. I think, was you sending them to the charity shop or something like that? So I think they were the ones that were in the Total Tarot magazine that you get, and then you'll either kind of resonate with them or you don't, because, you know, just whatever's in the magazine that time. And I've looked at this one a few times over the years and thought, oh, shall I get it? So it's the Medieval Tarot. And yeah, it's one of the Total Tarot magazine ones. So I got that. And then I had an eBay success. I had oh, because it's Judy who sends you pouches. I had no idea that Sliding Doors was Judy. There's me. Oh, do you make do you make bags? I've got so many of Judy's bags. I've got underneath the one I've just pulled off. I've got some beautiful ones. My blue tarot is kept in this beautiful bag. the oracle has just been sent to me as well, so I'm excited to see that. And then I've got this one. I've got loads of Judy's bags. I didn't realise, Judy, that was you. I do apologise. Do you make bags? I had an eBay success. So a couple of weeks ago, I showed the medieval Scapini on the Hermit shelf, and I was able to win the Tarocchi di Romeo and Juliet, also known as the Shakespeare Tarot. It's by Del Negro. I was a little bit disappointed, I'm not going to lie. I put it in order because it came secondhand, it wasn't in order. And I felt a little bit better after putting them in order. But I was a bit gutted because I think we've been spoiled, haven't we, by medieval Scapini with that beautiful gold background. That's just an extra card. The backs are really nice. And there's a front and back card. And I mean, they're okay. These are the minors. So I've come from the wrong side, haven't I? Hold on a minute. Why are the coins got them wrong way around? Start with a 4. They're nice, the images, but I thought the backgrounds would be the same sort of gold metallic colours, but they're not. But anyway, I'm pleased to have it because it's one that I wanted, and I've seen it going for ridiculous prices. And there was one person who had bid on this. I put a watch later on it, and then it sent me a reminder, and I waited till like 30 seconds before, put a bid in, and it came back, you've won. So yeah. Just got Tarot Itea Anima Antique. I've still got to show that. It's next on the list, actually. So it's on the top. That's a walkthrough I've got to do. Still from the last Spotlight decks. And I've also got to show the Decadent Tarot. That's the one after that. So there's a few to show. Anyway. Anybody familiar with this deck? I mean, that image you've seen a million times because every time you get a Lo Scarabeo card, they put one of those images in it. But this is the Frank Pinter Tarot. In the nice version box from Lo Scarabeo. There's a larger edition in a complicated box, Romeo and Juliet. And did that have the nice metallic gold backgrounds? The Itea is beautiful. Yeah, it is beautiful, but I just don't think anything's going to measure up to Marco Benedetti's versions of the Itea Tarot, because he's the master and what he produces is exceptional. By the way, Tammy Pie, are you still here? Because I don't know if you saw, but Marco sent me a personalised Sopafino, and I popped it in the Moonlit Fae bag, that one of the 2 Moonlit Fae bags that you sent me, you gifted to me when we met. Nah, same cards, just larger. Yes, you're here. So yeah, so the RWS Moonlit Fae bag that you sent me, I put my DMD RWS deck in there, Golden Era, and now my favourite ever pip deck is in this one. Oh, I love that bag. I know, they're so nice. I never thought I'd have a Moonlit Fae bag. And then when I met up with Tammy Pie and we exchanged gifts and I saw that, I was like, oh my God. So touched. Yeah, so Frank Pinter Tarot. Wow, that's a thick deck. So it's in this, I don't think it's always been in this box. I think it was in a tuck box originally. Am I right? I don't know. But this is obviously using Pinter's art in tarot to fit tarot. I really want to get some of Marco Benedetti decks at some point, but there's so many, I don't know where to start. Start with Soperfino, although that will set the bar, because €60 and beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Let's give it a snap. Oh, that sound. I got rid of mine. The Hangman just turned my stomach. Oh, now I'm going to look for the Hangman. I do love Soperfino decks. Yeah, this is the Avondo Brothers one, the one that the Ancient Italian is based on. So you get a title card. Yeah, these are thick. But the artwork really, really appeals to me. I've got to do it so there's no glare. So we have our full, no multiple languages or anything like that. Carpe Diem is written on the back. The Magician. The sound of the snap felt like a chiropractic adjustment. The deck is only $24.50. That was a very satisfying snap. Yeah, I really like the artwork. Sometimes it can be a bit hit or miss using pre-existing art, but it's an underrated underdog, Frank Pinter. It deserves so much more love. The Hierophant. The Lovers is brilliant. Simon, I've seen a snippet of Katrina's creating the blue and red tarot deck. Have you? I haven't yet. Oh. Chariot. Now, there's the famous image. I've seen this so many times as a spare card within Los Scarabeo decks. Look at the Hermit. The Wheel. What do we think? What are we thinking? We have Justice. Did you say it was the Hangman you didn't like? Rachel doesn't like it. Pinter actually created the majors intentionally for the deck. Mine is all pre-existing. I didn't know that. I wonder if you'll like the Hangman. I don't mind it. I mean, I can see why people think it's gross, but it's not. This is this is the Hanged Man. Death is pretty epic. Temperance. I would have preferred this to have been on matte cardstock. I mean, it's not heavy gloss, but it's shiny. And they've done so many of the decks that are in these style boxes in matte. It would have been really, really nice. I love the Devil card. This might have even been the deciding card for me. Mr. Bean. The Tower. I can see now, now you've said you created the majors, you can see why. Isn't that clever? Look how the dress is split and you see the nakedness of the star underneath. Stars typically always come across as naked. The new box is so much better. They are, aren't they? The Hangman is awful. The Sun. It's got very Chariot vibes. Love the Judgment. I could not read with that deck. It's a very elegant deck. The World. And then we just get the numbers and the little icon for the suit. So here we have Ace of Cups, swimming underwater. This is one of the images from the box. Yeah, now you can kind of tell now this is pre-existing art, can't you? That kind of gives me Joker Tarot images. I hid your comment by mistake. I can't even see what it... Let's see what it was. Can I undo it? I had 4 younger brothers. The Hangman doesn't faze me. It's very buttock heavy. It is cool though. I kind of wished in a way that I'd done a walkthrough with a camera down, because I'm conscious you don't get the clarity of the images on lives, but look at that with the open cage. So I've had this a couple of weeks. I picked it up when I was with my friend and we went into the Contemporary. I had to quickly go onto my phone though and have a quick look through to make sure it was one that I wanted to get. And then I remembered I'd seen it before anyway. The Knight. Anna says, thanks to you, Simon, I've seen many decks without buying them and love it. Thank you so much for sharing your passion. And that's the idea of a walkthrough. You know, it's my walkthroughs are not to convince anyone to buy the deck. It's for you to see them and make an informed choice. The whole, as I've mentioned before, the whole reason I found YouTube and this community was because I was in a shop and undenied about buying a deck and thought, I wish I could see more of the cards. There's like 3 images on the back. So I came home and Googled it just to see if there's any images, Google images. And then I scrolled down and there were a couple of YouTube videos. I thought, a YouTube video of a tarot deck? Clicked on it. The rest is history. But it helped me, so like yourself, so many times I'll watch a walkthrough and think, actually, no, that don't appeal to me. And that's great because I might have seen it in a shop and bought it. I like this. Some cards you like, others are no. I found my old work phone, which is connect. I do lost connection then, Cheryl. Look at that. I bought that frog tarot after your walkthrough and love it. That's good. It kind of reminds me a bit of the Purple Owl tarot and the same sort of art style. Just saying, Cheryl, it is Spotlight next week, isn't it? And I've still got some decks to show before them, so I need to get a wriggle on. I've tried to do one of your decks every other day. But I think it was because we had some extras come on it with the Bouchette ones and the empty cup oracle. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah, so I actually quite like this. And decks that tend to be curated from existing artwork tend to be independently produced decks, like was it the Pensive Path and other ones like that, the Lonely Dreamer Tarot, and so it was quite nice to see a mass-produced one as well. Is it next week? I have to get on. I'm away till Wednesday. We could, well, I can't put it, we could put it back 2 weeks. I can't put it back a week because I'm in Scarborough the week after. I think that's when we're going. But if you didn't think it was next week, then we can always reschedule. No pressure. That's a beautiful one, isn't it? Simon, you need an assistant for your walkthroughs. No. I have, for the last however many weeks, done a video every day. Every single day at 7 p.m. a video is dropped to try and get on top. But luckily, because I knew this week I'd got, like I was at the cinema last night, I was out for the friend's birthday on Wednesday, I had an open evening on Thursday. I spent Sunday, I think I recorded 4 or 5 videos, as well as the Hermit shelf. I like this one too. Just to schedule them. And the thing that worries me about that is I don't have a lot of space on my phone. So once I've scheduled it, I delete them. And then I think, what if something corrupts with them, or there's someone messaging me saying, oh, there's no sound. It's got to all be done again because I haven't got the original. Simon, I love the sheer number of decks you review these days. If I don't get to watch a new deck at least every other day, I'm let down. I think people do welfare checks on me if it's not a video every other day. Is Simon all right? But yeah, it's just how it is sometimes. I really like the courts. Who was it earlier said the courts in this deck are really cool? Because the courts are really cool. Love them. Adam says, question, Simon. Have you ever done an unboxing without seeing it beforehand? Yes, many times. And really not liked, oh, I should have waited to answer that. And really not liked said deck and had to be really politically correct. No, I will say. So most of the time a creator will contact me and say, I've done a deck, really like your channel, I think it'll be a good fit for your channel, could I send you a copy? And they will say, here's a link, and it might be to Instagram or somewhere, and I'll check it out, and I usually get, look at that, I usually get a good sense of whether that's decks for me or not. In the past, if I've been sent a deck and I've not seen it, and they've just sent it, because they might have sent one previously, so they know where to send decks to, and I don't like it, if it's really not my thing, I won't publish the video. I'll do an unboxing, and then I get to a certain point and I think, no, I'm not going to do this to them. It's someone's work at the end of the day, and just because I don't like it. I don't think it's fair to necessarily post a negative review. And so I will contact them. Similarly, if they send me a link and I'm like, oh, that's not really for me, but thank you. I did that just last week. It was a Lenormand. I said, oh, I'm not reviewing Lenormand decks going forward. It's not something that I particularly, I've got to the point now with Lenormand, I'm just like, I can't. Look at this. And they're fine. Cheryl and I have an understanding where if Cheryl sends, because that's always a surprise. I don't know what I'm getting now from Cheryl. She's found a way to make it a surprise for me. But if there's, and Cheryl knows me pretty well, and she'll say, I didn't include that one because I didn't think you'd like it. But sometimes there might be a deck in there, and I will say to Cheryl, I'm not really keen on this. And she'll say, send it me back. You know, we've got an arrangement where I'll do that now. So, wow, that's a powerful image, isn't it? For the Ten of Swords. I was just playing with Yukika. Yukika, I love. It's out on my desk all the time. I love it. Love it. Oh. See what I mean about the extra art card? These are still sticky together. Knight. Look at the Queen of Swords. Love this. And the King. So that is the Frank Pinter Tarot. What's everybody's thoughts on this deck? Is it the first time you've seen it? Oh, is it one you've seen around for a while? The courts are brilliant. Just love how you don't post negative review and so open and genuine about how you feel about decks. Yeah, you've got to remember, I feel, that somebody has put not only their time and talents into creating something, but very often at a cost. Okay, so not only to try and get the deck funded or out there, and then they choose you as a trusted person that they think will like their deck. And then imagine how they feel if you then post a video just saying negative things about it. I can't do it. Why would I want to do that? And I have been accused in the past of, oh, you're always so positive about the decks. You can't like them all. Well, that's because I select them, you know, and I haven't always been, you know, it might be that I bought one from, I'm thinking about that one. I've got a video out called The Worst Cardstock I've Ever Known. I bought it. It was an RWS deck. I bought it from, it was a huge company, and I bought it from a high street shop, and it was shocking. And it upset me to think that people walk into that shop, buy their first ever tarot deck, and that would be it. So yeah. But I'm not going to be overly critical. I will be honest, and I'll say things like, oh, it would have been nicer if the cardstock had been a little bit thicker because the artwork is really beautiful, or, you know, that deck that I've just shown, the Tarot Original, I mentioned the bag. I would have loved a box. For the cost of the deck, I would have loved a box for that. And I was able to say, shame it didn't come in with a box, but it doesn't take away the beauty of the deck. Yeah, might not be for me, but it might be for somebody else. And clearly it is, because people are buying it, aren't they? Okay, let's pull a tile. We've just gone over time slightly. So we will dig deep. There's so many different tarot decks now. sure to find one you'll like. Yeah, and they're not going to be for everyone, are they? We have the Nine of Swords, the Nightmare card. What I would say is, if you're feeling overloaded by thoughts, then the first thing I would say is think about what it is that is renting space in your head. What is it that is making you feel upset or worried? And then we have to take a step back from that and think about, what is it about this that I can actually change? You know, if it's something that's happened in the past, it's done. You can't do anything, unless it's something where perhaps you've upset someone and we can apologize for it. We only ever have the present moment. So we have to think about, and I try this so much because I've said before, I'm a born worrier. I worry about things that never even, the things I've worried about in the past never even came to fruition, but it doesn't stop me thinking that it will. So we have to think about what it is that's making us worried or upset, recognize that we only have the present moment, and there's no point of if only I'd done this, if I'd said that. You know, I was talking about earlier about that person who said that about me being a tarot reader, and I came home thinking, oh, I wish I'd said this. I can't. Let it go. Change what you can change, accept what you can't change, and then, you know, just remember that we've only ever got the present moment. The future doesn't exist. The past is a memory trace. Live our lives authentically now and try as much as we can. It's a constant practice to not overthink, because most of the things we fear don't come to fruition. Nine of Swords can also be a something about nothing card, a lot of anxiety and stress a lot of time based on paranoia rather than reality. Yeah, exactly. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change how you think about it. Perfectly put, Donna, like that. I might also add that into my little description, if you don't mind, on the Hermit's Cave thing. All right. Thank you, as always, for hanging out with me. I will be in the premiere tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. UK time for the Hermit Shelf. It is a longer one, so with the 5-minute intro, it'll probably be about an hour and a quarter, because I rabbit on a bit. But also, I was very tired and I'm coming out with gibberish and different words, and I couldn't be bothered to edit it, so I just went with it. So bear that in mind as well if you're there tomorrow. But enjoy the rest of your Saturday, wherever you are. Have a great weekend, and I will be back every day in the week because I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decks to show. And that's if nothing else comes in. But anyway, yeah, I'll be back in the week, and hopefully I'll speak to Cheryl, but hopefully we'll see you next Saturday for Spotlight. Take care, everyone. And as always, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.